Hello, and welcome to All Top 5s. As much as people try to ignore it, there is huge inequality in people's wealth. According to anti-poverty charity Oxfam, the world's richest 1% of people own 50% of the world's wealth. It's a striking statistic that really makes you think, but who are the richest people in the world, and how did they get to be so wealthy? Number 5. Larry Ellison. Lawrence Joseph Ellison, born in the USA in 1944, is the world's 5th richest person. He has a total worth of $54.5 billion and is on a salary of $77 million per year. Larry was adopted at a young age and lived in Chicago for much of his childhood. He attended and dropped out of both the University of Illinois and the University of Chicago. He dropped out because he discovered the fascination of computers and software, and in 1977, with $1,200 of his own investment, he founded a small company on the back of one particular database software solution he had designed, Oracle. That company, now known simply as Oracle, got through some rough patches and is now the second largest software corporation in the world. Larry still works at Oracle, and he has a colourful personal life as well. He has been married and divorced 4 times, with his good friend the late Steve Jobs, CEO of Apple, as the photographer at his 4th wedding. He has a passion for exotic cars, such as the McLaren F1 and the Acura NSX, his personal favourite. Larry is also a licensed pilot, owning 2 military jets, one of which he has actually been denied permission to import to the USA by the government. He even had a cameo appearance in the Marvel movie Iron Man 2. With his $54.5 billion, Larry Ellison is a philanthropist. He's donated millions to charity, medical research and educational ventures, and pledges to give away at least 95% of his wealth over the course of his lifetime. That's a huge amount to promise and truly commendable if he does continue with it. Number 4. Amancio Ortega Gaona. The world's 4th richest person is Amancio. I'm sorry if I haven't pronounced that right, but he's a Spanish fashion businessman who has been valued at $69.6 billion. He seems to move around a lot on this top 5 list, once being the world's 2nd richest person. Amancio was born in Spain in the province of Leon. While he was a mere teenager, he began working in a shirt maker's shop called Gala. By the age of 36, he had founded his first company, and by his 40th birthday he had founded Zara. This popular clothing chain boomed throughout the 80s and nowadays has over 6,000 outlets around the world, employing nearly 100,000 people. Amancio is a very private person, so not much is actually known about his personal life, and up until 1999, not a single photograph of him had been published. Additionally, he has only ever let 3 journalists interview him in his entire life. Despite his huge wealth, he seems not to have forgotten his humble roots, as he eats lunch in the cafeteria with his employees every day, and he still plays a very active role in designing and producing the clothes themselves at Zara. So, not much is known about Amancio's wealth or where it is spent, but at $69.6 billion, that's definitely a lot of cafeteria lunches. Number 3. Warren Buffett. Another American comes in at 3rd place by the name of Warren Edward Buffett. Born in Omaha, 1930, Warren's personal fortune amasses to a whopping $72.7 billion. Unlike Larry at number 5 and Amancio at number 4, Warren had a notable education, finishing his Master of Science degree in economics in 1951. From a young age, Warren was keenly interested in business. He used to go door to door as a child selling gum, Coca-Cola and magazines while he worked in his grandfather's grocery shop. He invested in pinball machines, farmland, and he bought shares between the ages of 11 and 16, so he was worth $90,000 by the time he'd left college. Despite being pressured into attending university by his father, rather than pursuing more business opportunities, Warren's career skyrocketed as he invested money in various different ventures. He married, had children, and by 1962, Warren had become a millionaire. He invested in and took control of the textile manufacturer Berkshire Hathaway. The corporation grew and grew, and in 1990 he officially became a billionaire. The recession in 2008 and 9 hit Berkshire Hathaway hard, but Warren steered it back round, and both he and the company are now worth more than ever. Unfortunately, in 2012, Warren was diagnosed with prostate cancer. However, he was treated successfully and continues to work as CEO and chairman. Warren Buffett, much like Larry Ellison, has pledged to give away 99% of his fortune to charities and foundations by his death, so over 70 billion will end up being put to very good use. Number 2. Carlos Slim. That's a fantastic name, isn't it? The second richest person in the world is a Mexican man named Carlos Slim Helu. Again, sorry for the pronunciation if it's wrong. He has a net worth of $77.1 billion. Carlos was born in Mexico in 1940, the fifth of 6 children. His father was a rich, successful businessman, and this inspired Carlos to learn and develop his own investment plans and business strategies from a very early age. With guidance from his father, Carlos attended the University of Mexico, where he studied civil engineering and, strangely, gave lectures on algebra. He was simultaneously a professor and a student. Using his mathematical skills, he became a stock trader and worked long hours amassing his fortune. He founded his conglomerate Grupo Carso, which went on to own various industries such as telecommunications, airlines, oil, entertainment, sports, financial services, amongst many, many more. Carlos also became chairman and chief executive of Mexico's largest mobile phone networks, Telmex and América Móvil. Despite his controversial spending, considering the high poverty rate in Mexico, and he very nearly frivolously bought the entire Honda Formula One team, Carlos has set up 3 foundations that focus on education and healthcare, sports, the arts, and historical restoration of Mexico City. These not-for-profit foundations invest millions and millions in improving Mexico and the wider world for the better. Carlos Slim was listed as the wealthiest person in the world at several points throughout the noughties and remains at number 2 in this list, sitting pretty at just over $77 billion. Number 1. Bill Gates. Now, it comes as no surprise to many of you to hear Bill Gates' name at the top of this list. Widely considered the richest man in the world for a very long time, Bill's personal fortune is valued at $79.3 billion, making him a household name. Born William Henry Gates III in 1955 in Seattle, his father was a lawyer and his mother was on the board of directors in the financial industry. From this well-off background, Bill attended high school and got into Harvard University, which he actually quit in order to focus on developing software. He was pivotal in transforming computers from expensive business machines into cheaper, personal devices that the average family could own and use, and this all began when he founded Microsoft in 1975 at the age of 20. 10 years later, after working with computer company IBM, Bill and Microsoft launched the first official version of Windows. It was hugely successful and Microsoft began to thrive. Bill aggressively and competitively expanded the company into other fields, and soon Microsoft was the world's biggest software company, putting him amongst the richest men ever. He's a lifelong friend of Warren Buffett, our number 3, and he became a director of Warren's investment company, Berkshire Hathaway. In 1994, Bill founded the Gates Foundation, an enormous charitable foundation that gives money to charity. By 2013, because of its open books policy, we can see that it was worth well over $34 billion, by far the biggest foundation in terms of wealth. Bill and his wife Melinda have pledged to donate 95% of their fortunes to charity by the end of their lives, making them the second biggest philanthropists in the USA. They have already given more than $28 billion to charity. Although Bill Gates stepped down as CEO and then chairman of Microsoft to focus on his Gates Foundation, he still works as technology advisor there, keeping himself in the top position on this list with a massive wealth hovering around $80 billion. What an incredible amount of money. And again, that's it from all top 5s for this week. Whatever your opinion on people owning so much money and so much wealth, it's incredible when you think what could be done with it, and of course so many billionaires do share their fortunes with charities, which is such a noble thing. Please feel free to discuss this top 5 list in the comments down below, but don't forget that these do fluctuate a little bit, so when you're watching this video it might be slightly different information than when I recorded it. And make sure you don't argue with each other, let's keep this nice and civil, because the comments are really interesting to read. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it the thumbs up on YouTube, because it really does help me, and you can actually look for other videos that I've done at the end, and as suggested videos. If you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, straight away, you can click subscribe, and then you'll be subscribed to me, and that's all good. I release a new video every Tuesday, so you've got one a week. So, as ever, peace and love to each and every one of you, and I will see you all next time on All Top 5s.